But you know what? I think we're going to see if someone else can do good observing. Remember, guys, we are going to be stringently judging Askeladd, and especially judging Cow and Vodka.
The thing is, we are judging Cow specifically because we know this man has been waiting for this damn moment, and he's going to get it. You guys are going to see that smug look on his face. Look at Askeladd just tilting that TC. Doing all the spins, showing us beautiful skill. In the blue, we have Mr. Observer Cow and Vodka being introduced right before, but I didn't realize that our new Observer loves the turny turns. Very nice.
He's like, whoa, you can spin the camera? Oh my god, you can follow scouts? Oh my god. Well, you're going to have a lot to follow in a game like this because this is Zerg-oriented. We've got Japanese in the hands of Cow. But Vodka, well, hold on, now this is where watching all the pro games pays off. A nice matchup here. Ayyubids versus Japanese, one that a lot of players still favor Ayyubids for.
I believe that, but I don't know if Vodka... I believe that, but I don't know if Vodka knows what he needs to click. He's going to need to age up. And yes, he's seen pro players make decisions, but does he know why? Actually, he might know why. This man is a genius.
Do you think if he wins game one, he changes his account name from Vodka L to Vodka W?
Oh, he has to.
Right?
He has to. An Observer Cal, what does he become? Just like an ex-LAN host Cal.
Observer Cow. Blind Cow?
Blind Cow. Yeah, blind Cow. Oh, a trackball Cow. There we go. Oh. And those, the eyes have pure focus right now. I've played against Cal before. He kicked my ass, I'll be honest. This man he runs circles around me, unfortunately. That's why I feel really bad for Vodka, because we can see him looking down, reading that guide. He's like, okay, what do I get next?
I feel bad, man. This guy's used to having 6 screens. We should have given him a second screen so he could have like Beastie's guide, build order, open on YouTube while playing the game at the same time, right? Just replicate.
Replicate. And I mean, honestly, I'm so glad that Cal gave him all that sheep. He just didn't scout pretty well, and Vodka just
nice
capitalizes on that. Yeah, I think it's just Cal's good heart giving back to his observer. Very nice.
Now, is it Desert Raiders on the way from Vodka, by the way? Like, you know, this is the build order. Yes.
Desert Raiders, hey, he knows how to do this. He's clicking that age up, getting the Desert Raider to... He's going to need to do a lot of damage against Japan. Because the problem is, Cow loves a little fast castle. I don't think we're going to be seeing any feudal shenanigans from Mr. Cow.
Now, the thing is, if he's not looking for feudal shenanigans, which he shouldn't be, that's a death sentence, you want to make sure you've got enough stone and wood coming in, which will get stone naturally, plus the wood to get the outposts up. He actually has a really good spawn for that on the backside, right? So, like, typically, I mean, Japanese players, I love Japan, but the one thing that doesn't fit my playstyle is their corner camping. They're corner camping in Till Castle, right? They slap down the 2 outposts, as we're seeing the first one go up. He could potentially get away with a single outpost here, but it feels like you probably want to like potentially wall near the edge of the map so that it always pushes in here, because the Desert Raider can come around there and still poke.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about having such a mobile unit early game. You just get to make all the decisions. You control the pace of the game, you go around, and that's exactly what Vodka's looking for right now. He knows, I need to go stop a resource, but unfortunately, I see that there's a tower on this resource. But look at that. He's running around trying to see, can my camel fit in elsewhere? And he will most likely find a little spot.
Now keep in mind, Cow has a genetic advantage here. Because Vodka is much shorter, so Cow can look over and see when he's checking the build order.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's when he can strike. See, now, with Cow's height abilities, I would also say hair abilities. He's just looking like he's more focused right now. But I don't know about that storehouse, though.
You don't know the Kura?
I don't know. No, I don't like about the placement of the Kura. Is that the normal Kura situation?
This is like B made this really popular, where you drop it right next to TC, but you want to drop it next to tree line, right? Because then you save 50 wood. You could have maybe went a little bit looser. The problem, though, is like the Desert Raider can poke, right? So it's somewhat valuable to just have it as close as possible. The interesting part to me is the fact that Vodka built an outpost, though.
Vodka. Okay, so Vodka is going for the fast castle. He realizes, okay, I'm not gonna fight this. I know Japan is Japan. They're gonna get the fast castle no matter what I do. But you know, Japanese doesn't really have any early units to.
That's the weird part, right? Yeah. It's like I'm starting to wonder if Vodka was memeing with us or not, and he is actually following build order. Because for most games, Ayyubids do build like an outpost if they are up against potentially an aggressive party who's feuding them. But like in this game, it's just meant to be a castle race on both sides, right? And that's where the Ayyubids can get a really big edge because the Camel Lancers are meant to just make mincemeat of the Mounted Samurai. I'm wondering, though, considering Vodka was doing all the observing, was Cal watching that Dimu series yesterday where he proved just how good Onimusha are up against the Camels?
That's the problem. The kiting on those things is just absolutely destructive. But I don't think that's the real question we need to address right now. The real question is Vodka reading the guide? And is he going for the culture wing to get fast castle? Or is he actually going to use eco wing and get the villagers? He's watched this so many times, but look at how he splits this.
This is eco wing macro. Like,
this
he's actually
has
on
to
point.
be. Oh, he's doing it so well. Now the question comes in, is Cal going to make the Onimusha? Yes. I'm now on par with this.
Most players would just go Mounted Samurai, right? Like, I think this is where if you don't think Vodka is capable enough, which he is, right? He's proven himself in other games. But the reality is also, like, through Vodka's own admission, he hasn't really played AoE before. There's a difference between playing it and watching it, right? And, you know, there are small nuances. I call it like the muscle memories RTSs. Some of them cross-relate, but others are kind of ingrained that you kind of get used to. But so far, he hasn't really gone wrong here, right? The Desert Raid has been kept alive. The poke has been real. And now the tech up has been triggered. It is going to be the growth wing, so standard plays here for the Ayyubids. Cal, it's almost time for your revelation, mate. Moment of truth.
The problem I see, or the one thing I notice with Vodka is, you guys look at that macro. He's spending every single resource he has. Even though he doesn't play the game, he knows what he needs to do. What he needs to mine, what he gets is perfect. It's calculated. RTS-wise, look at those scouts just fight it out. Oh, damn. Is Cal going to have the genetic advantage here? Not today.
He's moving out home. You kind of have to here, right? Like, the Desert Raider would just make mincemeat of you straight away. But there's a floating gate. Now, is he going to be an optimal boy here? Is he going to drop the production building right next to the landmark?
He's ready for it. Oh, he's going to get the Mounted Samurai, isn't he? He's going to get the Mounted Samurai.
It feels like
he is.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
So,
it begins.
usually players still find this comfortable to do as an opener, and then you follow up like Onimusha afterwards, right? There is still like some poke potential, but if Vodka just sees this, you just drop double stables, or you start pumping.
You drop double stables. And honestly, I don't know if camels... Do camels beat Mounted Samurai? Because in numbers we saw yesterday, it did not go the camel's way.
That was the Onimusha factor. That's
Okay.
really what secured it, I think, in that game. I remember saying it sounded like it kind of felt like you're on Hill and Dale, you can maybe get away being hunkered more. Like the play there, the whole wall in made it very difficult for any eco damage, right? But this is a more open spawn. There is always like a risk that Vodka can get in and do some significant damage. So we'll just have to see how Cal reacts to that, because I think the thing that Vodka remembers well is even if he hasn't been playing that many games recently, someone that holds true in RTSs is attacking as easy than defending.
The one thing I see is he shift-clicked his, or he clicked his villagers to go spawn outside. If he remembers to pop down a house, are you going to remember to pop that down house, Mr. Vodka? Oh, those villagers are stuck. He's aged up and he is housed right now. Those 8 villagers are not popping up anytime soon, but he notices and he plops it down. Now, we see the horse coming on out. Oof, but Cal has not sent it anywhere just yet. The Shinto priest is in a little bit of danger. Vodka with that map aggression. Blocked that from our observer man there.
Yeah, and look at the
Wow.
way the relics have spawned. I think Dry Arabia might want a little Vodka dub here. That's a lot of relics kind of gravitating towards the Ayyubid base.
Oh, and he is probably going to be able to deny these. I just feel like Vodka is aggressive enough. And what we... Oh, he's going to... The camels are just doing so much damage, and Cal has not lost... He's lost focus. Oh, there's a backup coming on in, but that's a low Mounted Samurai. That's going to be ripe for the picking very soon.
Yeah, like Desert Raiders are surprisingly effective here with 26 damage up against the Cav on the other side. You have to remember also that the Japanese Cav in that situation get a 20% debuff. So like what Cal kind of needs to do is not throw away the Samurai and get towards the Uma Bannerman, because then 20% gets offset mostly by the 15% of the aura, right? And then you just have the OP deflective armor left over.
Now, once you get those numbers up as well, it just becomes so powerful. Now, Cal does secure the relic a little bit closer to the base-ish. That's a tower. That's a desperate Cal tower. Ooh,
I mean, we'll get it up. I don't remember the last time I saw someone this early have to move out for the berries in the outpost in this situation. And we did mention early on, though,
He did
Cal,
give the sheep.
he's a cow whisperer, not a sheep whisperer.
He didn't want to get his fellow farm animals slaughtered. He
He
instead...
didn't want Mrs. Cow at home to think that he was cheating on with a sheep, right? That's
getting
what
a
it
nice
is.
little piece of lamb right there. Now, Vodka is trying to make a play for the relics as well. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed by Vodka so far. He has map presence. He's going for the relics. He's making a lot of religious units for those. And I don't think he's shift-clicking select all army, which...
No. He's used to the micro, right? Vodka's proven this before. You know, I was just thinking, actually, like, if Cal intentionally gave all those sheep away, if that's going to be the excuse, does that mean that he's a donor?
A donor?
Yeah,
a sheep donor?
A donor kebab. I'll see myself out.
No, okay, I think we're done here. I think we need to keep Cal in here. We saw his lovely interview earlier. He's just ready to steal the show, and with these Onamushas, he's ready to start the train, the pain train.
You know, I say Onamusha's going to Onasmusha if you get the micro right, because one cool thing here is if you go up to like 8 to 10 of these bad boys, or bad girls rather, you can get your hands on Kaburia, and that means you can actually kite more easily to stay out of range with the movement speed.
So what you're telling me is those camels are toast?
No, they're camels.
No.
Toast is bread. Oh. Right, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop there.
Oh my goodness, but they are closing out, and the camel numbers are quite scary from Vodka right now. Now, while Vodka, he only watches these games, he knows what's up, he knows what to counter, but look at them closing in, and they want to get that Onamusha damage too. He does switch between the ranged attack for the Desert Raiders, which is going to do a little bit of damage, but right now he realizes, I need to get some upgrades, and he is going to archers, which is a pretty smart move here. He's just going to have to keep those protected, especially against those mounted samurais.
Also has the undermesh coming in, which is actually pretty decent up against some Onamusha spam. But Cal is kind of flowing a lot of food here right now. Kind of almost feels like he's a bit unsure what he wants to build. I mean, it's almost like the perfect macro to consider Horseman, but that would be quite weird given the current state of the game.
You know, I don't think... he's just checking out the sites. You know, this is his first time in Norway. He needs to get a lay of the land. He's looking at that beautiful sacred site.
Stable footing in these mountains. You don't want to slip, right?
Yes, exactly. Don't want to go off that edge here. Now, the funny thing is, before we go into that, look at those villagers being ripe for the picking, and they are being picked, but the camels are there to punish as well.
Vodka isn't moon away either. He's like, dude, yeah, please, hit my villagers, let me get rid of the ladies here. So it looks like they're all going to get struck down. Does get 4 worker kills, but that's still Vodka with a 7 villager lead, which, by my maths, doesn't make much sense.
The one... Do you think Cow idled his economy?
Well, because it's 6. About realistically 6. You got 4 worker kills. You get 8 from the growth wing.
Well, seeing all that food Cow is floating right now, I'm assuming that TC also had a moment or two where it was not pumping out anything.
Did he get textiles? Is number 6 boy... maybe missed. Oh,
there's no textiles.
Well, he has at least got the diamond on the way, but remember that actually makes up the gap of the villagers, so you can't use that as the excuse either. But this does mean he can get into the Uma Bannerman, so he's just raw dogging it with mass cavalry.
And I don't know if Cal is going to be able to take down this ex-AoE2 pro. I mean, Vodka was an AoE2 pro at some point, wasn't he?
Yeah,
or was he semi-pro?
He almost qualified for Volda at one point.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
A man of many talents. He's a top-notch AoE observer. Top-notch player.
I wonder if that he used to be called Vodka W and then he changed it to the L.
After not qualifying for Walla
I never asked him what the L was about, you know?
But now these archers have arrived and they will be dealing with Onamusha quite well. For now, you just need to make sure that they do not get isolated. And with those little numbers, you do have a little bit of aggression there, but you need to make sure that they are target firing.
I think Cal has a big problem here, man. Vodka, even if he hadn't played in a while, he's got the classic Ayyubids Bassett kind of feeling. Camels only, more or less, is how it feels, is the story of this game. 14 Camel Lancers, and your answer is, what, 8 Onamusha that are already feeling counted. Onabagisha isn't really going to change that either, and oh my god, he's going hardcore into it. Samurai Onabagisha.
He kind of goes a little bit for everything, though. He's like testing the waters here and there. We do see the TC being attacked here, really under pressure. I think that might be a misclick. Ooh, and he does back out a little bit, but the supply never lies. And we can see those numbers are telling us a very dominating story here from Vodka.
I mean, it's a bit of a weird dive. Vodka definitely threw away a lot for it, but the pressure's on, and we have to remember, you know, 1 villager is idle in that TC right now. I can't believe this. Cow isn't even using extra eco to try and hold this back. His army looks like it's going to get wiped. You have to remember, behind this, the world is Vodka's oyster. He could go 2 TC, he can continue this aggression, he could even think about backing up a little bit and building one Manjanique, maybe a little bit of a Scuddy Poo on those farms.
I would love to see a little bit of fire rain from the skies. The thing is, though, he has these 4 relics too, and he's just drowning in gold at the moment. There's just no use for them right now. He's just like, hey, I've got all these resources. Let me just float them.
I mean, it was a bit weird, Vodka attacking the TC, right? I'm trying to, like, in AoE 2, the TC, I don't think primary TCs die that fast, right?
Yeah, but they also don't fire as hard.
That's true.
So maybe he just forgot that AoE TCs are a little bit spicier, AoE 4 than AoE 2 ones. Now,
please.
He really wants to get the lay of the land before he steps on it. Respect the sacred site.
Oh no, that's a secret dervish, right? But when you know when you capture a sacred site, it goes dum.
Yes.
You're not secret anymore. You know?
And then Cal is going to be spooked. We don't want to spook out. You guys can see this man barely gets the sun.
He ran away in his interview, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
He's very easily scared.
What if he runs away during this match? Oh, he gets inside. Gets a little camel.
Has Cal started prepping more farms, by the way? Because like he is playing a lot of pocketed resources right now.
Yeah, I think finally he realized, okay, I did run out of food. They can be used, but once they are used, I'd probably need to get back onto the food. He was not utilizing that farm for quite a while.
Ooh.
Oof, and we see the Manjaniques.
The Manjanique build order point.
And this is Vodka's million-year experience in watching people get destroyed by these. As a person who gets destroyed by these often myself, I fear for Cal.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, right? Because like this is one of those matchups where Burning Manjaniques is a bit odd because your opponent doesn't have range units because Japan is 95% of the time allergic to range units. But the logic is still you can scud down the buildings, right? Like the incendiary shots are pretty effective. You start reaching those farms, you find the farmhouses and whatnot. And at the same time, Cal's army isn't big enough to swamp the sides yet. And fairness to him, Vodka does have a mass ranged army to kind of contest these initial samurai.
I'm really glad, though, that Cal is actually going... Oh, I actually thought he captured the sacred site up top, which Vodka led there for a while, but that means Cal does have a little bit of map presence, but I'm surprised he's not inside Vodka's base. Cal's usually not the kind...
He was before. It didn't work out well.
Oh, yes. No, he's usually a guy who's very proactive, and he runs around, he puts pressure down, he goes from every single angle. But I think right now, remember, this is his first LAN performance. This is his first time at a LAN. The other players are here for money, but Cal is here for clout. And that is, I would say, even more important.
He's the only Norwegian player that made Grand Final Sunday.
Oh, wow. That is true.
There you go.
Is he our best Norwegian player?
Technically, yes. I think that adds up.
Yes. Making it to finals day, that's Cal. That's
you
Cal.
know, it's like when I go, like, I'm not saying I'm as good as, I don't know, let's say, Dumu at the game, but I have made a lot of grand finals.
Oh, true. At this point, are you...
like Vodka is actually the best guy in the game. He's made more grand final appearances than anyone else.
This man, a legend. Yeah, is he better than Marine Lord?
He's made more grand final appearances than Marine Lord.
That is amazing. And this is why Vodka is giving Cal the hardest time of his life. Cal sees those Manjaniques, he knows there's something up, and that something might just be death. We see the Spring Ult coming in desperately, trying to focus that Manjanique, but it's just stepping a little bit too far, brother. Get back in my base.
What build order has Rams at 18 minutes as the Ayyubids?
that must be a beastie build. Oof. And the Manjanique will reign supreme soon. Oh, it's gonna make an ult shot. Spring Ult does the work. I
mean, look at them count on the Camel Lancers, the range formation as well. I mean, the Rams are approached. It's about to be Ramadan here as Cal looks like he's about to be starved. He has got some siege on the way, but the army is too thin here. Thinner than some gamer muscles at this point. Vodka has the power this time to go on for the kill.
And just like this, I think Cal's trackball mouse will not get the airtime we wanted it to get. Maybe we should give it to Vodka.
You'd think for a trap ball, he was the one with the balls, but all I see is Vodka the one sending it here. Opening game and a reminder that Vodka is the observer daddy for a reason.
And he even at the end of that game, he was showing us that he's looking up the next build order. You can see him staring at that phone right now. This man is cooking his next build. He's like, do I go for a Beastie or a Voldemort win for the next one?